Hail Star Wars fans and fellow artists! Welcome to a huge episode that's got me buzzing as someone who's been inspired by Star Wars my whole creative life. On July 27th, 2025, George Lucas made his first ever San Diego Comic-Con appearance, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. He dropped a bombshell about the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art opening 2026, and made it crystal clear Star Wars is about timeless art, not politics. Today I'm talking about why this is a massive shift for Star Wars and culture itself. Stick around for the lore insights and why this hits home for me as an artist. Hit that subscribe button. Hall H, over 6,000 fans, July 27th, 2025. George Lucas steps onto the Comic-Con stage for the first time ever. This is huge because Star Wars had its earliest public moment at San Diego Comic-Con back in 1976. It's a full circle moment and the energy was electric. The panel, called Sneak Peek of the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, was moderated by Queen Latifah, with filmmaker Guillermo del Toro and Lucasfilm's Doug Chiang joining Lucas. They weren't talking new movies or Disney drama, they were celebrating narrative art, the kind that powers Star Wars and connects us all. As an artist, that hits me hard because Star Wars visuals, those ships, that concept art, are why I fell in love with it. Let's break down what they said and why it matters. The Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, opening in LA in 2026, is a 300,000 square foot masterpiece with 33 galleries, 2 theaters, and a library. Lucas called it a temple of the people's art. What's inside? Oh, just a life-size Naboo starfighter from the Phantom Menace, Luke's X-34 Landspeeder from A New Hope, and General Grievous's wheel bike, and Indiana Jones concept art. But it's not just Star Wars. You've got 1968 Iron Man and Black Panther sketches, 1934 Flash Gordon drawings, and works by Norman Rockwell, Frida Kahlo, Jack Kirby, and Frank Frazetta. Lucas has collected 40,000 pieces because, in his words, if you have an emotional connection, then it's art. For me as an artist, this is Star Wars' legacy, its ability to spark that emotional connection through visuals. Think about Ralph McQuarrie's paintings or John Williams' score. That's what keeps us coming back. What's your favorite Star Wars art moment? Drop it in the comments. Lucas said something profound. Quote, "Society cannot exist without a common belief system, and that's where illustration is vital, to show you what that means in everyday life." This is Star Wars to a T. Its mythic archetypes, Luke's heroism, Vader's redemption, the Force, tap into universal human experiences. As an artist, I'm drawn to how Star Wars tells stories visually. Those X-Wing designs, the lightsaber glow, they're art that speaks to our souls. Lucas said, quote, "Stories make you feel connected to other people. That's why Star Wars is timeless. It's not about one era or one debate, it's about hope, struggle, and connection." For me, drawing inspiration from Star Wars means capturing the same emotional depth in my work. What do you think makes Star Wars timeless? Here's where it gets juicy. Lucas didn't mention Disney or the modern Star Wars debates at all, but Guillermo del Toro dropped a line that hits hard. "Myth unites us, propaganda divides us." That feels like a direct shot at the idea of cramming politics into Star Wars. Fans have been arguing forever about whether Star Wars should tackle political issues, but Lucas' focus on art as a unifying force says it all. Star Wars is about myth, good versus evil, light versus dark, not culture wars. I love that Lucas is steering us back to what made Star Wars special, its ability to bring people together through art, not divide us with agendas. This is a massive shift in how we should view the franchise. It's about the paintings, the designs, the stories, not fleeting political hot takes. Do you agree? Should Star Wars stay apolitical? Guillermo del Toro went off on AI-generated art, saying it lacks personality and emotion. Think about the handcrafted X-Wings, the soul in Ralph McQuarrie's art. That's what makes Star Wars special. Del Toro's point ties to Lucas's vision. Human creativity driven by emotion. That's what unites us. AI can't replicate the heart of Star Wars. This is huge for artists like me. It's a call to keep creating with soul, not letting tech or agendas take over. And it also makes me think the Lucas Museum is about preserving that spark. What's a Star Wars moment that feels uniquely human to you? Share it below. Lucasfilm's creative director said the museum will validate comic art and inspire the next Norman Rockwell or Frank Frazetta. That's massive. Star Wars itself was inspired by comics, sci-fi serials, and mythology, and now it's part of the artistic legacy. Lucas sees the museum as an educational tool, teaching empathy and creativity. He said, quote, "Stories make you feel connected to other people." As an artist, Star Wars inspired me to draw, to dream, to tell stories. This museum will do just that for kids in 2026 and beyond, ensuring Star Wars art lives on. It's not just a museum, it's a beacon for creativity. Imagine a kid walking past a Naboo starfighter and deciding to become an artist. That's the power of Lucas's vision. What's the Star Wars art that inspired you growing up? George Lucas's San Diego Comic-Con 2025 panel isn't just about a museum. It's a declaration that Star Wars art is its soul, a timeless force that unites us. By focusing on narrative art and rejecting politics, Lucas is redefining the franchise's legacy and culture itself. As an artist, I'm fired up to keep creating, inspired by Star Wars' emotional depth, and I think that's what draws all of us to Star Wars, and that's why it became so mythical. The Lucas Museum opens in 2026. Will it shape the next Star Wars saga or inspire new artists like me? I want to hear your thoughts. How does Star Wars art inspire you? Should it stay above politics? Drop your comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to the Lore Night channel for more deep dives. I hope you've been enjoying my weekly short transmissions. I'll be talking more about art and Star Wars in the coming days. Until then, I'll see you next time.